is a wonderful chef and a great fire cook, and he's also a hunter as well. So he's going to tell us all about wild game. Kai, are you ready?
Hey,
There he is, Kai Uprin. Please put your hands together.
how are we doing, everyone? Can you hear me okay? Good, good. So, guys, my name is Kai Uprin. I run a company called Game and Flames. Pretty much does exactly what it says on the tin. So, I'm a hunter, as you said, and I cook game on fire. And we do weddings, we do corporate events, we do festivals.
I'm going to adjust you a little bit there, Kai.
You can adjust me.
There we go.
You took my eye out there.
Oh, that's all right. You got another one. There we go.
There we go. So yeah, so basically, yeah, I harvest from the wild, yeah, and I cater for public events, weddings, and do demos like this today to you lovely lot. So thank you for coming and taking the time to watching this demonstration today.
I was going to ask, what are you going to cook for us, Kai? What's on the menu?
Well, what we've got here is a beautiful saddle of wild boar from the Forest of Dean. So in the UK right now, the Forest of Dean is like one of the boar strongholds. Okay, so there's so many, there is a lot of wild boar there, and although they're lovely, you know, they're absolutely beautiful creatures to a degree, they're extremely destructive, and I mean extremely destructive. Okay, so we have to there is a management plan in place. You know, there's forest rangers in the Forest of Dean, there's hunters in the local area, and people try and work to a quota to sustainably reduce the numbers to a nice level.
But because I think that's the thing that's important, right? That there are quotas to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
So you can't just shoot as many as you want. And are there seasons where you shoot wild boar?
Well, I'll just go a step back because you can shoot as many as you want, really.
Oh, great.
You can, but as hunters and people who are responsible and know what, it's in our benefit to maintain a healthy population. We don't want to eradicate, wild boar, venison and anything else because these are an asset, they're an asset for us, for food. Mm-hmm. So it's harvesting, it's like wild harvesting.
Right.
Okay, so most people who do this know that we need to kind of look after the populations, make sure there's not too many, and make sure there's not too little. And it's a tricky thing to do.
So who keeps an eye on that then? Who keeps an eye on what is too many and what is too little?
So there's different areas. So especially in the Forest of Dean and those areas, you've got forest rangers, and they do work to a quota. But then hunters, they'll have their own people who shoot. They'll have like certain farms and certain estates that they can shoot on, and they will try and manage it themselves to a sustainable level.
Right.
There's no season for wild boar.
Okay.
Because even though they were once a native species, they got eradicated. Now they've come back, but they're kind of almost like an invasive species still.
Right,
It's a very peculiar thing. Whereas venison, with deer, there is seasons. So.
Yeah.
I've just realised I need to actually get cooking because I can talk all day about this. So let me just roll up my sleeves.
This always happens in a demo. I'm just like, this is just so fascinating. And then you guys want your 2 Fs, don't you? Your free food. We're never going to get there otherwise. So chef, remind us of the dish again that you're cooking for us.
So guys, what I'm doing is something like quite quick and easy just because of the time frame we've got.
Yeah.
This is a wild boar saddle, okay? So I've already taken off the loin, okay? So the loin is what the Americans might call a back strap. It's the sirloin at the back. It's the strip, okay?
So super lean, a nice lean cut.
Super lean.
And then do you keep that little fat cap on the top there as well?
Yeah, so there's actually not much fat on this one.
I was going to say, are they lean? Wild boar lean?
It depends what time of year. They can have a bit of fat. But like most wild game, sorry guys, I'm going to be cutting this loin off now, okay, to marinate it while I'm talking. Like most wild game, there's very little intermuscular fat.
Right.
Okay. So what that means is, there's inside the meat itself there is not much fat at all. So which means you have to cook it a certain way. Mm-hmm. If you overcook it, it goes dry. Okay. And like I was saying yesterday to the people who watch me do the grouse, it gets livery, it gets kind of tough, it kind of gets gamey.
So there's a whole skill set to cooking wild game. So we treat it completely different to, say, for example, if I was going to cook a pork loin. So this is completely, we need to go slower.
But
and then are we going to go medium rare on this? We definitely wouldn't go well done, right?
I'm probably going to take this about 60 degrees. I've got my thermopen there.
Good.
So maybe like 58, 60 degrees, and then we'll let it rest. But I've got a really nice marinade for this, guys. I've got pineapple, soy, some chili, some star anise,
So wild boar can really take a really good marinade then as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then do we still get the flavour of the boar through despite that marinade?
You will, because we're cooking it. We're not actually cooking it all the way through. It's going to be medium rare. You get a nice sweet kind of like almost like a tropical hint. And I know it's not really UK, but I want to show the versatility of wild boar, not just the traditional wild boar and apple.
Yeah, for sure. So while you're just preparing that for us, Kai, can I ask what got you into hunter-gathering cooking?
So ever since I was, so I'm going to move that over there.
Yes.
Ever since I was 6, 7, I grew up in North Wales. We spoke earlier on.
Yeah.
And I always used to go fishing with my dad. That's trout fishing, just bubble float fishing. And whenever I caught something, I always wanted to eat it.
Yeah.
Like from a young age, and that's always stayed with me. Fast forward a few years later, I'm working in restaurants, working in a few pubs, working in the kitchens, and then I ended up actually, funny enough, working in the nuclear industry for many years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was running my businesses. So I ran a company called Yes.
Yeah, so sorry, just talk us through what you're doing there. So you're just trying to take that...
So basically what I'm doing here...
Is that sinew that goes through there?
So these are what you'd call trim. These are bits off the end that you use for burgers and sausages, okay? These are like the trim bits. These are the ribs here, okay? I've just taken the strip loin off. Now, guys, with a strip loin, you've got like the silver skin there.
Right.
That's really tough. So the best thing is to try and remove that. And the best way for me to try and remove that is at one end, I'd put a little incision, probably like a couple of centimeters, and just like you're filleting a fish. I need to go start a bit higher up there. You would literally
so you just run your knife through it,
and you run your knife through it and pull it at the same time, okay?
And that just comes off like that.
And you can trim that.
And then now that reveals the silver skin that we can take off.
Yes.
I mean, you're right. It's incredibly lean, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And the older the pig, the darker the meat can get as well. So I'm just going to kind of trim this because this didn't all come off.
Yeah.
Like that.
So sorry, we were going back to how you got started with this. So
yes.
Fishing, and then you started working restaurants, and then were you just missing that side of being outdoors?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I started off, and it's always been about food for me. It's always been about food. It's not been about hunting. Is not going out just killing animals. That's not what we're about. You know, right. I'm a meat hunter. So what I shoot and what I hunt and that goes onto my menus for the business, and family and friends, dinners at home, that type of thing. And I don't think you can beat eating something sustainably sourced from the wild. And once you're morally connected to that, it's quite a powerful thing because you know where your food comes from, and you know that the animals had a really good life. So
I mean, I personally love wild game, but probably like lots of people here, we probably struggle to find it. So our local butcher doesn't tend to have it. There's other tongs on there for you, chef.
I've just taken something off.
Yeah, I was going to say it's display models.
One of the displays.
Models. Yeah, they're display.
Apologies.
But where do we get it from? I mean, like if I wanted wild boar for a party, where would I get some from? Because I've never seen that at my butcher's.
So, like I said, in the UK now, you've got the Forest of Dean. I'm just going to put these on the grill here.
Yes, please. Let's start cooking.
So, guys, this is I've got pineapple juice. I've cooked it. I've reduced it down with some soy sauce with some chilies. I've got some star anise on that. Okay. It's very, very simple, but it's a really, really nice one, and a bit of honey as well. So
sounds lovely. So just nice, sweet. You got some salty in there. And so why did you use pineapple juice?
Because it's a really nice flavour. I mean, you can use apple juice, but when it reduces down, it's really nice and syrupy, and it kind of a little bit of that kind of like a tropical hit.
And was it for the tenderising as well? Does that need tenderising?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So obviously now I've just put this on, just this second. But if you're doing this at home, you'd want to marinate it, for at least 8 hours, and that will tenderise. That pineapple juice will help break down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, it smells great already. So yeah, where can I get wild boar?
So.
Or venison.
Eat Game website. Okay. So I'm here with Eat Game guys over in the corner there. On the website, they've got a whole list of British game suppliers on there that you can go to. There's companies like Deerbox, who have supplied, so Deerbox have supplied this wild boar to us, and they're an amazing company. They can send next day delivery too. So venison and wild boar, Lincolnshire, there's so many I can go through, but if you go on the Eat Game website, they'll be able to direct you onto that. So,
because I just think there was, we talked to Matt Williams from Whittle and Flame Charcoal. I think there's a lovely correlation between sustainable charcoal and eating game. You know, because it's all about woodland management, it's all about population management, and I think at this time where we're worried about U.S. imported meat and there's chlorine chicken coming over, it just feels like we have meat here that we can eat. And I think it's about supporting and enjoying that sort of regenerative,
I fully agree.
farming wild farming practices, if you like, or wild harvesting practices.
Yes, absolutely, and. We support British game, British charcoal, and just try and support the industry as much as we can, because it all goes hand in hand at the end of the day.
100%, yeah.
And we have some of the best produce in the world. We know it. This is why we're here showcasing it. And it's absolutely from the charcoal to the game, and even just the whole festival here. It's absolutely amazing produce.
Does anybody like British game? Do you eat venison? Yes. Do you all know about it? And eat it? It's just one rabbit. Yeah, rabbit. Oh, hang on. Keen rabbit fan over there.
There's a lot of rabbits here.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's just such a great thing. So we can go into the Eat Game website if we wanted to order British game.
And have a look at British game, because like I said, we have some high standards in this country, and we have some excellent retailers out there for British game. Absolutely.
So can I just ask about this boar then? I mean, can you just I'm assuming you wouldn't shoot babies. Baby boar.
No.
What are they called? Piglets. Are they still piglets?
You can, but we don't.
Right.
So what I'm saying, there's no season, so technically.
But more mature, of a decent size.
Yeah. So like a young pig would be exceptional eating, but not like a baby or nothing.
Right.
So you're talking, a couple of years old.
And then what weight would this be, like in total?
So the weight of that boar would probably be about
dead weight, for example.
40 kilos. So it's not,
so it's not.
So wild boar, they're not like big. You can get big wild boar, but in this country they tend to be a bit leaner. You get in between 50 and 80 kilos.
Yeah.
40 and 80 kilos. That's kind of like the optimum weight, really.
Yeah. I don't know why I had like a Game of Thrones direwolf-sized boar in my head for some reason. 80 kilos, that's manageable, right?
Has anyone ever seen like a wild boar in the wild? Because it's pretty special. It's medieval.
They do look super primitive, don't they?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that show? Monica Galetti went back to France, and she did this show where she was stalking a wild boar. And this show is going on, and they're stalking it, and they're camping out, and they're tracking this herd. And then it came to killing it, and she utterly lost her. Basically, she was crying, and she was like, don't kill it, don't kill it. And you've got all of these hunters that were just like, dude, we've been out here 4 days, we're killing it. No, this is the point of it. She's like, oh, God, no. Anyway, so, so you were saying something super interesting earlier on about, how we can eat this meat medium rare. Because it is a wild animal, and it is pig, and we do have some sort of throwbacks from the 70s and 80s about cooking pork thoroughly.
Well, people get really scared about cooking pork. It's just like chicken. You've got to cook chicken to like 75 or whatever.
Yeah.
People think pork's the same thing, but times have changed now. If you go to a really nice high-end restaurant and have some meat here, you notice a lot of the pork is served pink.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, what we do is called like trichinella testing. So whenever you shoot a wild boar or kill a pig, it has to go through a testing process. And that testing process allows you then to be able to sell it or eat it, for consumption. Right. Trichinella, we've actually haven't had a positive test for years and years and years in this country. We've been very, very good. So actually, we could almost safe to say it's pretty much eradicated, but we still have to test for it.
Yeah.
So we still have to test for it. So we've had the test back from this one. It's all good to go. This is why we're going to eat it. We're going to serve it like medium, medium to medium rare.
Because I think Jim, I don't suppose you remember your parents or your mum cooking a pork dinner, and she'd have to cook it all the way through. I remember my mum saying about liver fluke. you know, which obviously put the fear of God into me as I'm like cutting into this super dry, like crackling and super dry pork. But that's kind of a myth now. So I guess if we know we're buying pork and game from a reliable source, we know that it's been tested for that. Is that right, Kai?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you're going to buy it from a reputable game dealer or a butcher, it's all going to have to be tested. Otherwise, you're breaking the law. So it's literally, you know that you're in safe hands. So that's why, like I said, we can cook this to how we like it, you know, cook it medium rare. And going back to what I was saying about game, and this goes back to venison and everything else, if you overcook it, especially the loins or the haunches. So I have a rule, okay? And this is like for pigs, this is for venison or any other animal. Yeah. Like the shoulders, the neck, and the shanks is all low and slow, pretty much.
Right.
Unless, like you get, obviously you can go into get a feather blade, you can take out, you know, flat iron steaks, whatever. But as a general consensus, the shoulders and the neck and the shanks are like always low and slow. The legs, which are the haunches, they're like your steak cuts, okay? And the loins especially, you want to cook them, especially in game, you want to cook them medium to medium rare. Right. Anything above that, everything changes. The flavor, the texture, the whole profile of it. Right. And that's when people say, oh, I've had venison, it's really tough. Yes. It's really gamey. And I'm like, well, it's probably because you haven't cooked it right. Yeah. And it's always a thing.
I mean, it's an utterly different approach, isn't it? Because I think, you know, British meat, British pork, British lamb, chicken, beef, all comes with a certain amount of sort of intercostal fat, which is very forgiving to cook. But this takes an actual level of skill that perhaps some of us just need to hone a little bit before we cook it.
Absolutely.
How is it, Chef? Is it?
It's looking good so far. And these do not take that long.
No, I mean that cooked really quickly, didn't it? Yeah. But it was the marinade in what was helpful for that?
The marinade helps, and I'll tell you what else helps. Yeah. Is when you leave the meat out to come to room temperature first. Okay. Because if you're cooking it straight from the fridge, you're shocking it, and you know you'll have a nice crust on the outside, but then you'll get that ring. You'll get that when you cut into meat, you'll have that ring.
Of course.
And so if you want like an even color throughout your meat, you want to let it come to room temperature, then cook it, and then the whole thing, when you slice it, it just looks absolutely stunning. Yeah. So.
I mean, these look beautiful, Kai.
Look at that.
Have a little hold up of that for people to see.
So guys, look at that now. It's got
Doesn't
nice
that
glaze
look incredible? Just like so much color from that marinade, and of course that pineapple juice is caramelized, giving you those lovely bar marks there. Just
absolutely.
Looks beautiful.
It's a couple more minutes. And like I said yesterday, another important tool is when we work in the kitchen, and especially when you want to be precise with your temperatures, because I could probably check that with my fingers and do that, but it's not in front of you guys. It's not hygienic when I've got to try and plate everything up. Like an instant read thermopen is like a chef's tool. Like this is like I don't go anywhere without this or at home, because it gives me like instant readings of exactly when I want to take that out. Yeah. So if I'm going to take this off at like 58, 58 to 60, so I know then I can just whack that straight off. Yeah. And I'm pretty much in safe hands. And what I'll do, I'll stick at the top here because I can feel with my hand that's not cooking.
Still warm.
But that's like my warming oven, okay? So I'll put that on there, and that will rest. And resting is so important when you're cooking like this. And a lot of people don't understand the powers of resting meat. Now,
because it also carries on cooking as well. So that's why Kai is saying I'll take it off before. He's not waiting for 63 degrees. No. He's going to take it off earlier and allow time to take it up, because it'll continue cooking through that resting phase as well.
Exactly. So literally a couple of minutes of that. I'm going to stick at the top there, and then we're going to prepare these buns. I've made like a nice slaw with a bit of pak choy. We're going to put some grilled pineapple into it. We've got some red onion there. Something very simple, just really simple, with some just red wine vinegar as well, and a bit of salt. And we're going to put them just in brioche buns.
So Kai, can you tell us more about your private catering gigs then?
Yes.
So when you serve, do you do like a whole menu of wild game?
So yeah, we do.
Or do you take them out hunting?
So my business is split up into different areas. Let me just put that up there for a second. So yeah, my business is split up into different areas. My bread and butter is weddings. Right. But we do wild game weddings. But we also do like conventional, meats as well. But we make sure we source from reputable suppliers of the high welfare standards.
Yeah, nice.
Because we understand that while people love game, they might be worried that some of their guests might. So we try and offer alternatives. So we used to do like salmon. We don't do salmon anymore. Sustainable reasons. We do chalk stream trout. So chalk stream trout, an amazing product. Venison, I shoot it myself. So after September, when my season dies down, I'm out a lot of the time stalking deer. I've got my own butchery. We hang it, we butcher it, and then we save that for events, or weddings and corporate events and everything throughout the country. So.
But deer is a really important animal to cull as well. Because, I mean, what's that statistic about how many people die on motorways from deer running out? Yeah, I mean, it's huge. And like, apparently, isn't there, I mean, it's fun, but it's not fun. It's a fun fact, but not fun. That deers are the #1 killer of humans in the UK.
Well,
because
animals.
Yeah, they do, because they run out onto motorways. So like, so our biggest predator are deers. I know you thought they were cute and you thought they were Bambi.
Absolutely.
So it's really important
that
they get culled. So we shot an episode of Shauna and I's TV show, Sam and Shauna's Big Cookout, and we did a whole episode on game. And it was in Margam Park in South Wales. And we got up at the crack of dawn. And we're stalking these deers, and of course Shauna's from Belfast and is really loud, and I'm from Wales and I can't stop talking. So we're walking with these rangers, and like it was like going out with your dad. They're just like, shut up, they can hear you. So anyway, we go stalking, and it's taken hours and hours and hours, and I just turned into a bit of a Kevin and Perry, and I'm just like, oh, where are they? Because like also you can't kill females with deers as well, and in certain seasons you don't want to kill too many females. So it's kind of the bucks that you're sort of controlling.
That's all about the management, but sometimes it's the other way around, because if you've got a really high population
of females, you
have to take some out the females, and that all comes down to what I was saying earlier about a management plan, and that's what's really important, that we sustainably have a management plan, because so if you're deer stalking, it's more regulated than wild boar in some ways.
Exactly, yeah.
So a lot of deer stalkers do a thing called the DSC certificate, deer stalking certificate level 1 to start with, and that teaches you about shooting, about species management, and how to kind of like do a quota and how to manage your land. Yeah. And a lot of people adhere to that, you know. The American system is a lot different to our system. They have a tag system as well in Europe, so they can go and they're allowed to shoot like 5 deer or 6 deer. In this country, like, we can shoot as many as we like, but we don't. Like I was saying to you before.
We need to create the demand for it, right?
The onus is on the hunter.
Yeah.
So, the onus is on us, the hunters, so...
Yeah, exactly. And I think the onus is on the consumer to ask for more deer as well. You know, incredibly good for you, super high protein, very lean. Not that lean meat is ever a concern for my diet at all, but very delicious. So, Chef, you're just about to start taking this off now. Yep. Why did you char the pineapple? Why didn't you just cut the pineapple up?
Because it gives that texture, that bit of a crunchy texture, and a bit of that smokiness. You get the smoke on the pineapple as well, and that sweetness. And I'm just going to chop this in, because I already pre-made the sauce, just because I know I talk a lot, just to save time. So I thought I'll pre-make this, and then the pineapple here that I've charred.
So in here we've got... I mean, it looks wonderful. So we've got red onion. Is that just some lettuce in there as well?
No, it's no lettuce. All pak choi.
Pak choi.
So I've used pak choi instead of cabbage, which is really...
I mean, it looks great.
Really nice alternative.
Really beautiful little colour there. That looks amazing.
And we've got some spring onion in there as well. I've actually got some carrot just to mix into there, but it's that separate...
Perfect.
Robbie, the back there's kindly done for me. So, guys, I'm just going to quickly chop up some of this pineapple.
Just for anybody that's just joined us at the back, hello. Hello, how are you? This is Kai Upbrin. Kai Upbrin is from Game and Flame, and he's representing Eat Wild. So we've been talking about wild game. We've been talking about his passion for hunting, and how you got into this. So Kai, what's next for you? What have you got coming up?
So we've got a lot of weddings at the moment. You know,
it's wedding season. Surely all the people in all the world are going to be married by December. You get some time off, right?
Like when it comes to like October time. That's when I look to go deer stalk. That's when I go quiet, and that's when the seasons come in. The season's in now for the males, but I go deer stalking a lot, and that's just filling up the larder for next year.
And where will you go stalking? Where will you go looking for deer?
So
what's your patch?
I live in East Sussex, so I go all over East Sussex, but I also do some stuff for Field Sports Channel TV, which is Europe's biggest hunting channel.
Yeah.
And quite often I'm quite lucky to go around Europe hunting and cooking all over, so...
Well, that sounds got quite a nice life,
yeah,
Kai. You carved it out for yourself there.
It's that passion of food. So I've shot moose in Finland. I've shot wild boar in Hungary. But it's all about eating it. So
shot moose. I mean, how moose? They're up there, right?
Like 500 kilos. Yeah.
I mean,
massive.
that's nerve-wracking because there's a whole thing about humane killing, right?
Yeah.
It's that one shot to the heart. Have I made that up?
Well,
to the head?
It's not to the heart. It's to the vitals. So it could be the.
I was thinking about Bon Jovi. I was thinking shot to the heart. So just to the what's the vital? Where would anywhere that's.
So we're going to go into details here.
If you shot me in the kidney, I'd take ages to die.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
No,
it's always behind the shoulder. So you always go behind the shoulder.
Yeah.
And that is your optimum place for because you have to do the best you can for a really quick ethical kill.
Yes,
and that's
definitely.
So you've got to take your time and make sure. And behind there's the lungs and the heart. The heart's slightly lower down, and that's where you aim for.
Yeah.
Really quick, because obviously we don't want anything to suffer. So and that's the main thing,
All right, yeah, but that moose must have been nerve-wracking, though. I mean, that's a big beast.
Yeah,
is that the biggest thing you've ever hunted?
It took six of us to move it. Yeah, probably. To be honest,
wow.
moose. Yeah. Yeah.
And then was the meat good? Was it tasty?
The meat was fantastic. It was almost like beef. We did kebabs in the woods, so we whittled down sticks.
Yeah.
And we marinated it in the woods. We made a fire in Finland. And then we did that. We shot black grouse as well, and we had everyone together, all the hunters together, just sharing, and that's what it's about, it's everyone sharing the meat, and then the meat gets taken back and distributed to all of their families.
Yeah, right.
So
I mean, it's such a traditional way of doing that as well, isn't it?
Absolutely,
I mean, it's very primal. I mean, it sounds quite manly to me, very manly. Do women go? Women go shooting? Good.
I'll tell you what all women do, they take their dogs as well and they help, because they help tracking and stuff like that, and they do a lot of that side as well as now there's a lot of female hunters out there.
Yeah.
And some really good ones as well, very respectable, that know what they're doing more than most of the men, to be honest with you.
Oh, good. That's very good to hear, isn't it? Yes, go on, the women hunters. Okay, well, this is looking fabulous. So we're just sort of coming to the end of our demo now, Kai. It's been fascinating to talk to you.
I could talk all day. I literally could talk all day.
Well, we can have you all day. Are you sticking around the festival?
Yes, so I'm going to be in the Eat Game stand. So guys, if you go in the hall there, I think it's the first or second right where Yeti is and some of the other supplies.
Yes, in that key, bottom door on the left.
You'll see us there. And we've got a board there. There's 6 deer species in the UK. Can have a go and try and match the pictures to the actual species. That's good. I'll see you there later on. I want to see you there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very good. Muntjacs, that's the one I know.
Yes.
Apparently muntjacs scream. They have the most terrifying bellow about them. And considering that they're the smallest one, they've got these little tusks, and they scream like a fox. Apparently, it's very unnerving. So they deserve to die.
And they also
straight
bark.
Away.
It's they're more pronounced for barking, like a muntjac bark.
Yes, exactly. Apparently terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, this has been Kai Uprin. He is from Flame and Graham.
Oh, Game and Flames.
What's that?
Game and Flames?
Game and Flames, Flame and Game?
Whatever.
Which one is it?
It's that point of the day now.
Which
I need
one
a beer.
Is it, though? Which one is it?
Game and Flames.
Game and Flames. Potato. If anybody wants to coin Game and Flames, not Flame and Games, he's got copyright on that. He's just cooked this wonderful wild boar fillet for us that's been in some pineapple soy reduction, which has been incredible. This wonderful slaw. And please go and see him. Go and find him at the Eat Game stand and nerd out with him.
We don't bite.
Get him to take you on a hunt. That would be fun, right?
So that's another. I never actually got onto that. So we do weddings, we do corporate events, but we also.
Do you take people out?
I do one-on-one bookings where people come out with me, and I also do deer in a day courses where people can come.
Yeah.
We'll try to skin and butcher a deer. And then
come on, that sounds good, doesn't it? Somebody want to get into that?
Then we all get involved in doing a big feast. So we'll do maybe a big Mexican feast or whatever.
Shauna and I are coming.
We'll
come on your next one out.
That'll be good.
Please put your hands together for Kai Uprin. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So who's excited? Who wants to try some of this?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. Superb. All right, we're going to get this all chopped up for you. We'll give you some of this wonderful burgers.